everything. It's all about tackling the hardest problems in your life.
I know, right? That sounds totally backward. It sounds like a trick question. But just stick with me here for a second. We spend so much of our lives and our energy chasing success, but what if we've been pointing our arrows at the wrong target the whole time? You know that feeling, don't you? Where you're working so hard, you're doing all the right things, but you just feel stuck? Progress is just exhausting. It feels like you take 2 steps forward, and then 1 step, sometimes 2 steps back. It's a really frustrating place to be.
And that feeling, that's what we can call the success trap. It's this weird paradox that happens when you follow all the conventional wisdom for getting ahead.
I mean, it seems so logical, doesn't it? We read all the books, we binge the podcasts, we study the people who've made it, and try to copy their exact moves. But there's a huge hidden flaw in this approach. It's called survivorship bias. We're only looking at the one person who made it, not the 1,000 other people who did the exact same things and failed. It leaves you just pushing that boulder, completely unaware that you might be on the wrong mountain altogether. Okay, so how do you get out of the trap? Well, there's an idea that comes along and just flips the entire script. It comes from the legendary Charlie Munger, Warren Buffett's brilliant partner, and it's called the inversion principle.
That's it. Just 4 simple words that can totally reframe how you solve problems. Munger actually got the idea from a 19th century mathematician, Carl Jacobi, who figured out that a lot of really hard problems are best solved when you just address them backwards.
So what does that actually mean in practice? Well, inversion is basically the act of flipping your perspective 180 degrees. Instead of focusing on how to achieve a great outcome, you focus on how to avoid a terrible one. And this is where it really starts to click. Look at the difference. The forward question, how do I build a great company? It's huge, it's aspirational, it's kind of vague. But that inverted question, what would definitely destroy this company? Man, that is brutally practical. It immediately forces you to identify the real landmines, running out of money, hiring toxic people, building something no one actually wants.
So why is this backwards thinking so much more effective a lot of the time? It seems almost too simple to be true, but the logic behind it is just rock solid. Think about it like this. The road to success is incredibly complicated and unpredictable, right? It's a chaotic mix of skill, luck, and timing. There are a million ways you might succeed. But the road to failure? That's way simpler. It's way more predictable. It's the same few mistakes, arrogance, bad money management, impatience that sink people and companies over and over and over again.
And this Munger quote just nails it. The goal completely shifts. It's not about being some kind of genius who finds the one perfect path forward. It's about being the person who consistently and reliably sidesteps the obvious, stupid mistakes that guarantee you're going to fail.
Okay, so this isn't just some abstract theory. This is a super practical tool that people are using in the real world every single day. Let's look at how it actually gets applied. Take a technique called the pre-mortem. Before a big project even gets off the ground, the team gets in a room and the leader says, okay, fast forward 6 months. This project was a complete, total, catastrophic disaster. Tell me, what went wrong? It's amazing what happens. This simple flip gives everyone on the team permission to voice all the real risks and doubts that they were probably too scared to bring up before.
And it's not just for projects. Jeff Bezos used a personal version of this when he was trying to decide whether to leave his cushy Wall Street job to start Amazon. He pictured himself at 80 years old, looking back. He didn't ask, what should I do? He asked, what will I regret not doing? That is inversion, applied to one of the biggest decisions of your life.
All right, now this is where it gets a little uncomfortable. But honestly, this is also where it gets incredibly powerful. What happens when we turn this inversion lens on ourselves? Ask yourself this question. I'm serious, take a moment and really think about it. This isn't about being negative, it's about being brutally honest with yourself. What behaviors, if you just keep doing them, would absolutely guarantee you end up unhappy in the future? You know, the answers are almost always painfully obvious, aren't they? None of this is rocket science. Deep down, we all know these things are bad for us. But just seeing them listed out, right there in black and white, man, that could be a serious wake-up call.
And here's the real gut punch. The point of this exercise isn't to think about some hypothetical, abstract failure. It's about you. It forces you to confront the dumb things you might be doing right now that are leading you down a path you absolutely do not want to be on. So this all comes back to a core idea, a philosophy we can call the art of not stupid. It's a strategy of winning simply by not losing. Think about amateur tennis for a second. Most matches aren't won by the player hitting amazing, spectacular shots. No. They're usually won by the player who just makes the fewest simple mistakes, the fewest unforced errors. Life and business are so often the same game. A lot of winning is really just about not messing up.
Which brings us right back to the central, powerful idea. The real long-term advantage in life doesn't come from these rare flashes of genius. It comes from the quiet, consistent discipline of just not being stupid day in and day out. It's about avoiding the obvious traps that everyone else is falling into. Now, it is really important to remember, inversion isn't a magic wand, okay? It's a tool to help you identify and remove the big, dumb obstacles in your way. It helps you clear the minefield, but at the end of the day, you still have to take action. You still have to walk across that field and take some smart, calculated risks. So, I'll leave you with this final thought. For just a moment, forget about finding that one brilliant